Alright everybody, welcome back to one of the last few AOT Spotlight decks I'll be doing. There's a couple more characters that I'm probably gonna do, but we'll probably take some time to do some standard deck profiles and some other things in case some other stuff pops up. So today we're going to go over Jean Spotlight. We're going to try to manipulate as much momentum as possible into changing zones and becoming an offensive or defensive powerhouse. We're also going to try to take advantage of his once per turn on both turns as much as possible, because after we clear one or more cards from our card pool during the combat phase, we get to add one of them to momentum. So that's pretty sick. So let's go ahead and get into the deck. So we got 4 copies of High Velocity Slice, 5 difficulty 3 check, 4 high for 5. If this is the only attack in your card pool, add the top card of my deck to momentum. Deadlock Blitz, this attack gets +1 to its stun rating for each card of momentum. This card's really good with Jean because we're going to pile a bunch of momentum, and then if our opponent goes into deadlock, they're asking to die. Plus it gets us a momentum every time we play it as the first attack in our card pool. Propelled Kick, 4 difficulty 3 check, 4 low 4. Blitz, spend a momentum, clear this card from your card pool after it resolves. Deadlock Blitz, add the top card of your deck to your momentum and draw 2 cards. That Deadlock Blitz is nutty. But really what happens is, if we haven't used our once per turn, we get to spend a momentum to clear our card pool and refund that momentum. So that could be a really, really cool plan going forward, is to keep our card pool clear, and then we get to just stack more momentum. 2 copies of All a Soldier can do. Unfortunately, we have to have a momentum to use the Blitz to pay off on the Blitz, but the issue is that it's not consistent enough to do that. So, but it is a good statted attack. It is a 4 low for 5, so maybe this hits and we get momentum, but normally this is like a turn 3 or later card, or we're playing High Velocity Slice into this. Hopefully we can clear that High Velocity Slice at some point to get a second momentum, which would be really, really cool. Next is Falling Debris at a 2x. This is kind of like a mid-range to late game type card. Very rarely are we going to have more than 2 momentum on turn 2. So that's really when we start getting paid off for this. It's a 4 high for 6. Breaker 1 ranged. Blitz, this attack gets +X+X. X equals your momentum. Deadlock Blitz, add the top 2 cards of your deck to your momentum. The cool thing about this deck is there's a lot of deadlock punish in the attacks. So it could kind of come out of nowhere if your opponent goes into deadlock. Massive Swing, one of my next favorite cards, and probably one of my favorite cards in the set. It's a really neat enabler, is the word I'm looking for. It's a 5 difficulty 3 check, 5 mid for 6. Those are some huge stats on a 5 diff. Powerful 2. Blitz, if you have 0 momentum, add the top card of your deck to momentum. So again, if we're spending our momentum, or if our rival's making us spend our momentum, we're able to get this and roll. Deadlock Blitz, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So we can get 2 momentum. Like I said, Deadlock Punish is crazy in this deck. Race to the Rescue, 4 difficulty 3 check, 5 mid for 4, EX2 ranged. Response after this attack deals damage, clear it from our card pool. So if our opponent takes damage, we get the momentum. But also if we use our enhance to get 3 speed and it becomes an 8, whatever zone we want it to, it clears and we refund that momentum, which is really cool. Also, Deadlock Blitz attack gets +2/+2. I actually didn't realize how much Deadlock Punish is in this deck. It's crazy. Slash from Above. It's kind of a filler card right now until I get more Falling Debris. It's probably going to end up turning into more Massive Swings and a combination of All a Soldier can do, Falling Debris, and Massive Swings. I'm kind of waiting on some TCG player cards to come in. But yeah, if we happen to have a bunch of these in our discard pile, it gets a bunch of damage, which is really neat. Moving on to our assets, we got 1 Survey Core because we need some extra damage. Reloadable Swords because we need extra damage. Which also leads into our actions, which are kind of cool. Surprising Strength. Enhanced attack gets Powerful 2 or EX2. This enables Jean by giving more momentum, also giving us a way to spend that extra momentum we get on kill turns. Strategic Maneuver, 0 difficulty 4, +2 mid block, Form, choose one asset in our discard pile, one of the two one-ups. If that card's printed difficulty is 2 or less, it is. We may discard a card. If we do, we build it. Otherwise, we get to add it to hand. So we can just play this to... yeah, we discard a card to get a card into our hand. Or build the asset. Because we're only playing one of, so this is actually technically 2 more copies of either of the assets. Going into our foundations, we get to play 2 different block zones on our 0 diffs, which is pretty sick. We like that because they're not all mids. Please give us some 0 lows, please, for our spotlight. This is my chance. It's a 1-4, 3 low flip. This is the only attack in our card pool. It gets 2 speed. If it's completely blocked, we get to clear it. So if our opponent uses resources to completely block it, and they clear it, we get it as momentum. If not, we get it for momentum later in the turn. Horrifying Realization is probably the best, one of the best foundations in the Spotlight format. We get to Botan's Coaching with upside. Take out both its eyes. We have a way to spend momentum for damage, because if we have a gluttony of it, we're going to need a way to get damage because we do so much speed. Some more speed hate against 7 difficulty or greater attacks, which is usually really good to have. Get in, get out. If somehow our rival isn't blocking our stuff to play along with our clear game, we can clear it with this card. Jean's Provoking Stubbornness. After we play this card, then we clear it, so we get a momentum if we haven't used our once per turn, and then we get 3 damage to our next attack. 2 copies of Mikasa Defeats the Female Titan. Flip after you block an attack. That attack deals no damage, so it allows us to live longer. Reconsider, 2-5, 3 low. After you play this card, clear from our card pool, draw a card. If it's our turn, we discard a card. So on blocking with this card is crazy. So we get to clear it, we draw a card, and we get to add it to our momentum. Traumatic Scene for more speed hate, because we can never have enough. Change of plans, 2-5, 2 mid, unique. Start of your combat phase. If your rivals block 2 or more attacks, we get momentum. And deadlock form, we get more momentum. So this deck actually punishes deadlock pretty well, surprisingly. 2 copies of Titan's Pursuit. If our attack is completely blocked, we get to add the top card of our deck to our momentum. So if we use This Is My Chance, and then we have this on board, we get 2 momentum for 1 attack, which is sick. And then one of the best defensive foundations in the set, Flip. This attack gets -2 speed. If it's completely blocked, we draw a card defensively. So that's really good as keeping our hand full, so we can keep blocking because we have really good defense. It's just we have to be able to block. So that's the Jean Spotlight deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I fixed my camera issues because I just noticed that about the last like 20 videos or more have just been fuzzy. So I apologize. Hopefully this one worked out okay. And if not, I'm big sad. I'm sorry. I have no idea how to fix it. I'm not an OBS pro. So we'll talk to you later. Take care.